Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your own thoughts? Maybe you've had a time where stress, negativity, or doubt took over, and it felt like you couldn't control the chaos in your mind. I've been there too. In fact, I've experienced it multiple times in my own life, feeling trapped by the overwhelming flood of worries, insecurities, and fears that seem to cloud your judgment and cloud your peace. If you've ever experienced a similar struggle, you're not alone. But imagine for a moment that there was a way to clear that mental clutter in an instant. Imagine being able to reset your mind, regain control over your thoughts, and experience clarity and peace, even in the most stressful moments. It might sound too good to be true, but there's an ancient wisdom, one that has helped millions find mental peace for centuries: Buddhism. Buddhism teaches us powerful methods for mastering our thoughts and emotions, providing clarity even in the midst of confusion and chaos. And that's exactly what I want to share with you today. In this video, we'll explore 7 transformative lessons rooted in Buddhist teachings that can help you reset your mind, clear away negative thoughts, and unlock mental freedom. These lessons don't just help you manage stress, they can completely shift how you approach life's challenges, making peace and emotional well-being an attainable reality. I know firsthand the power of these teachings. I've been through my own battles with stress, negativity, and uncertainty. But the moment I started applying these principles to my life, I saw profound changes. And that's why I'm so excited to share them with you today. Whether you're struggling with internal turmoil or simply seeking more peace and balance, these lessons will help you approach life with a fresh perspective. Lesson 1. Command your thoughts with precision. One of the core principles of Buddhist wisdom is that the mind is powerful, and it's ours to command. You see, our thoughts are not just passive events that happen to us. Every thought we have shapes the way we perceive the world, and in turn, how we act and react. In Buddhism, there's a saying, "You are what you think." This means that we are not defined by external circumstances, but by how we choose to think about them. Imagine your mind as a garden. Just as a garden can thrive with beautiful plants when properly tended to, your mind can flourish when you focus on nurturing positive, constructive thoughts. Conversely, if you neglect your garden, weeds will grow and your beautiful plants will struggle. In the same way, if we neglect our minds, negative thoughts will crowd out the positive ones. To take control of your mind, you must learn to command your thoughts with precision. It's about being intentional about what you think and choosing to let go of thoughts that don't serve your well-being. This doesn't mean you'll never have negative thoughts. They will come, and that's normal. But it's about knowing you have the power to choose whether or not to engage with them. I vividly remember a time when I allowed negative thoughts to dictate my day. It was a period where I felt stuck professionally and personally. I was constantly worried about failure, about not being good enough, and about how others perceived me. One day, I woke up feeling particularly anxious, and I realized something important. I wasn't in control of my thoughts. They were controlling me. That realization was a turning point. I started practicing mindfulness meditation daily. It only took 10 minutes in the morning and evening, but it made all the difference. I began noticing when negative thoughts would pop up. Instead of getting swept away by them, I would take a deep breath and gently redirect my focus. This practice became a habit. Over time, I started to notice that positive thoughts came more naturally, and my mental clarity increased. It wasn't easy at first, but the more I practiced, the more I was able to command my thoughts. One of the best ways to command your thoughts is to start with mindfulness. Begin by setting aside a few minutes each day to focus solely on your breath. This simple meditation practice helps you develop awareness of your thoughts, and over time, it strengthens your ability to choose which thoughts to focus on. Here's an exercise to try. Each time a negative thought arises, whether it's worry, doubt, or frustration, pause and take a deep breath. Then, ask yourself, is this thought helping me? Is it moving me towards a positive state of mind? If the answer is no, gently redirect your attention to something more constructive, like a positive affirmation or a pleasant memory. With consistent practice, this becomes easier, and soon, you'll find yourself naturally gravitating towards thoughts that support your mental well-being. Lesson 2. Harness the power of visualization. Visualization is a powerful tool in both Buddhism and modern psychology. The idea behind it is simple. By vividly imagining a positive outcome, you program your subconscious mind to align with that vision. In Buddhist teachings, this technique is often used in meditation practices to help manifest a state of calm or inner peace, and it's incredibly effective for achieving personal goals as well. Visualization is like a mental rehearsal. Just as athletes visualize their performance before a competition, you can visualize your success before facing life's challenges. By creating a detailed mental image of success, you prepare your mind and body for the experience, making it feel familiar when it happens in real life. I'll share a story from my own life. A few years ago, I had to give a major presentation for my work, and I was extremely nervous. The thought of speaking in front of so many people made my heart race. But instead of letting that fear control me, I decided to use visualization. Every morning leading up to the presentation, I would close my eyes and imagine myself speaking confidently in front of the audience. I could hear their positive feedback, see the smiles, and feel the sense of accomplishment. The more I visualized, the less nervous I became. When the day of the presentation arrived, I felt calm and confident, like I had already been through it. And you know what? The presentation went off without a hitch. This is the power of visualization. By mentally rehearsing success, you prepare your mind to make it a reality. To make visualization effective, it's important to practice it consistently. Choose a time each day, preferably first thing in the morning or right before bed, and spend a few minutes visualizing a positive outcome for your goals. Make the visualization as vivid as possible. Imagine how you'll feel, what you'll see, what sounds you might hear, and even the scents in the air. The more sensory details you include, the more your subconscious mind will believe that success is possible. You don't have to just visualize big events, either. Start with small goals, like visualizing a productive workday, a calm conversation, or successfully completing a project. Over time, these visualizations will program your brain to expect positive outcomes, which will naturally lead to more success in your life. Lesson 3. Radical Mind Diet. Just as our bodies require healthy food to stay energized and strong, our minds need a nutritious diet to thrive. This concept is known as the radical mind diet in Buddhist teachings, and it's about consciously curating the content we consume to support our mental and emotional health. Just like we avoid junk food to maintain our physical well-being, we must avoid negative, toxic, or draining influences that contaminate our thoughts. Buddhism teaches that the mind is shaped by what we expose it to, so it's essential to feed our minds with positivity, wisdom, and inspiration. The news we consume, the social media we engage with, and the conversations we have all influence how we think and feel. Imagine if you were constantly exposed to negativity and drama. How would that affect your mindset? I had to confront this idea head-on a few years ago. I found myself scrolling through social media every morning, absorbing endless negative headlines and toxic debates. It didn't take long for me to realize that this wasn't helping me. It was draining my energy and clouding my mind. My mood would be affected, and I found it harder to focus on my goals. That's when I decided to make a change. I started by unfollowing accounts that triggered negative feelings and intentionally sought out content that uplifted and motivated me. I switched from mindlessly watching the news to listening to podcasts that offered insights on personal growth, mindfulness, and productivity. The shift was subtle at first, but over time, I noticed a profound difference in how I approached my day. Start by evaluating what you're consuming on a daily basis. Are the books, podcasts, videos, and conversations you engage with nourishing your mind or feeding negativity? Take stock of what you're putting into your mental ecosystem. Consider unfollowing social media accounts that constantly bring negativity or conflict into your life. Instead, follow accounts that promote well-being, creativity, and positive action. In addition, think about your media consumption habits. Are you spending hours watching news or scrolling through social media, or are you dedicating time to personal development content, such as motivational speakers, inspiring books, or educational podcasts? Shift your focus to sources that build you up rather than drain you. You can even schedule media consumption. For instance, decide to spend 30 minutes in the morning consuming something that feeds your mind positively, perhaps listening to a podcast or reading an uplifting article. And avoid negative content, especially before bed, as it can disturb your sleep and leave you feeling anxious or unsettled. By consciously choosing to feed your mind with uplifting content, you create a positive mental environment that supports growth and resilience. Lesson 4. Emotional Alchemy. Emotional alchemy is the art of transforming negative emotions into positive forces for personal growth. In Buddhist teachings, emotions are viewed as part of our human experience, but we are not meant to be slaves to them. Instead, we can use our emotions as powerful tools to guide us toward wisdom, clarity, and greater emotional resilience. When we experience intense emotions like anger, frustration, or sadness, we often try to push them away or avoid them. But Buddhism teaches that emotions are not inherently good or bad. They are simply energy that can be channeled in different ways. Rather than suppressing these feelings, we can learn to use them constructively, transforming them into actions that lead to personal development and inner peace. I once had a situation at work where a colleague's comment deeply frustrated me. Instead of reacting impulsively, I took a step back and reflected on the feeling. In that moment, I realized that my anger was a signal. It was telling me that something wasn't aligning with my values. Rather than lashing out, I decided to channel that frustration into a more productive action. I started working on a project that I had been putting off, one that would align with my long-term goals. This allowed me to transmute the negative emotion into motivation, and it felt incredibly empowering. Whenever you experience a strong emotion, don't immediately react to it. Take a few moments to reflect on the underlying causes of the emotion. Is there an unmet need, a conflict, or a personal value that's being challenged? Understanding the root of the emotion is the first step in emotional alchemy. Next, think about how you can transform that emotion into something constructive. For example, if you feel anger, use that energy to take action, perhaps by addressing an issue or working on a goal that's been bothering you. If you feel sadness, allow it to deepen your empathy or lead you toward creativity or healing. The key is to recognize that emotions, even difficult ones, hold valuable lessons for us. By practicing emotional alchemy, you not only gain better control over your emotional state, but also turn potential setbacks into opportunities for growth. Lesson 5. Rewire your brain with gratitude practices. Gratitude is a practice that has the power to rewire your brain, shifting your focus from what's wrong to what's right in your life. According to Buddhist teachings, gratitude isn't just about being thankful for the good times. It's about finding appreciation in all moments, even in times of challenge and difficulty. By regularly practicing gratitude, you train your brain to focus on the positive aspects of life, reducing stress, anxiety, and even symptoms of depression. When we practice gratitude, we're actively changing the neural pathways in our brain to strengthen the areas that focus on positivity and joy. Studies have shown that gratitude can lead to a more resilient mindset, improve relationships, and even boost physical health. In Buddhism, gratitude is also seen as a way to cultivate contentment and acceptance, regardless of our external circumstances. I've noticed how much gratitude has changed my perspective on life. A few years ago, I started a gratitude journal. Every morning, I would write down 3 things I was grateful for. At first, I found it hard to think of anything beyond the obvious: family, health, etc. But over time, I began noticing small moments of gratitude that I'd previously overlooked. The warmth of the sun on my face, the taste of my morning coffee, the kindness of a stranger. These small moments added up, and I found that my day started on a much more positive note. By making gratitude a daily practice, I rewired my brain to notice the good in my life. Even on tough days, I found it easier to focus on what I was grateful for, which helped me navigate challenges with a calm and positive outlook. Start a daily gratitude practice. It can be as simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Try to focus on the small details, things like a kind gesture from a friend, a moment of peace, or even a good meal. The more specific you can be, the more powerful the practice becomes. In addition to journaling, express gratitude to others. Send a text to a friend telling them you appreciate them, or simply say thank you more often. This not only strengthens your relationships, but also reinforces your own sense of gratitude. By making gratitude a habit, you'll gradually shift your focus from what's wrong to what's right, fostering a more positive, resilient, and fulfilled life. Lesson 6. Cultivate your energy ecosystem. Buddhism teaches that everything has energy, and our mental and emotional states are deeply affected by the energy around us. This includes the people we spend time with, the environments we occupy, and even the objects we surround ourselves with. The concept of cultivating your energy ecosystem is about consciously creating an environment that supports your well-being and growth. Your environment can either nourish or drain your energy. This is why it's essential to regularly evaluate your surroundings and make intentional choices about the people, spaces, and things you engage with. Whether it's your home, workplace, or social circles, each part of your energy ecosystem plays a role in shaping your mindset and emotional state. By actively cultivating positive energy in your environment, you help maintain a clear, balanced, and resilient mental state. A few months ago, I was struggling to maintain my focus and clarity. I realized that my workspace had become cluttered, and the energy in that space felt chaotic. Every time I sat down to work, I was distracted by the mess. After reading more about the energy we create through our surroundings, I decided to declutter my space and reorganize everything. I added plants, diffused essential oils, and placed positive affirmations around me. The effect was remarkable. Suddenly, my workspace felt calm and inviting. I was able to concentrate better, and my stress levels decreased. It was as though the energy around me was finally aligned with my mental goals. This experience taught me the importance of intentionally nurturing the energy of my environment. Begin by evaluating the energy of your physical environment. Are there spaces in your home or workplace that make you feel stressed or distracted? Declutter these areas to create a calming, organized space that promotes clarity. Consider adding elements that are calming, such as plants, soft lighting, or peaceful colors. Next, look at the people you interact with regularly. Are there relationships that drain your energy or leave you feeling negative? While you may not be able to avoid toxic people completely, you can limit your exposure to them. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire, uplift, and support your growth. Nurture relationships that promote kindness, understanding, and positivity. In addition, be mindful of your daily habits. Small routines like checking your phone first thing in the morning or watching negative news can set a negative tone for the day. Instead, create morning rituals that support a positive mindset. Things like journaling, meditation, or a walk outside to ground yourself in nature. These routines will help you build an energy ecosystem that supports your mental and emotional well-being. Lesson 7. Practice radical acceptance. Radical acceptance is one of the most powerful Buddhist principles. It teaches us to embrace life exactly as it is, without resistance, judgment, or denial. This practice encourages us to accept both the joys and challenges of life without getting caught up in emotional turmoil. It's about fully accepting reality as it is, even when it's uncomfortable, and letting go of the need to control everything. When we resist reality, we create unnecessary suffering. We often struggle because we try to change or control things that are beyond our control, other people's behavior, external circumstances, or unexpected challenges. Radical acceptance teaches us to stop fighting these uncontrollable aspects of life and instead embrace them as part of the human experience. This shift in mindset allows us to find peace even in difficult situations. I vividly remember a time when I had a major setback in my career. I had worked hard for a particular project, and when it fell apart, I felt devastated. My first instinct was to resist the pain and frustration. I wanted to push it away to change the outcome. But after reflecting on Buddhist teachings, I realized that my resistance was only making things worse. I decided to practice radical acceptance. I acknowledged my feelings of disappointment and allowed myself to fully experience them. I reminded myself that setbacks are a natural part of life and that I couldn't control everything. Once I accepted the situation for what it was, I felt a sense of peace and clarity. I was able to move forward with a new perspective and took action in a more calm and deliberate manner. Start by identifying areas of your life where you are resisting reality. Are you struggling with a challenging relationship, a career setback, or unexpected changes? Instead of pushing against the situation, try accepting it for what it is, even if it's uncomfortable. You don't have to approve of everything that happens, but you can choose how to respond. By practicing radical acceptance, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and open up space for growth and peace. One way to practice radical acceptance is by taking a step back when you're faced with difficult emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause and ask yourself, what is this situation trying to teach me? Acknowledge the emotions you're experiencing without judgment and remind yourself that you can control how you respond. Another way to practice this principle is by letting go of the need to control every aspect of your life. Embrace uncertainty, understanding that not everything is within your control. Trust that you can adapt and grow, no matter what life throws your way. Over time, radical acceptance can help you develop a sense of inner peace and resilience that makes navigating life's challenges much easier. In this journey toward mental freedom, we've explored 7 transformative lessons rooted in Buddhist wisdom. These lessons provide us with powerful tools to reset our minds, eliminate negativity, and achieve emotional resilience. They help us take charge of our thoughts, transform our emotions, and create environments that foster growth and well-being. Command your thoughts with precision. We have the ability to control our thoughts and direct them toward positivity. By monitoring our mental chatter and practicing meditation, we can create a mindset that supports joy and resilience. Harness the power of visualization. Visualization helps us rehearse success and align our subconscious with our goals, making us more likely to achieve them. Adopt a radical mind diet. Just like our bodies need healthy food, our minds need nourishing content. By choosing positive and inspiring media, we shape our mental landscape for growth. Practice emotional alchemy. We can transform negative emotions into sources of energy for personal growth. By acknowledging our feelings without judgment, we can redirect that energy into positive action. Rewire your brain with gratitude. Gratitude rewires our brains to focus on the positive, reducing stress and improving our resilience. Cultivate your energy ecosystem. Surrounding ourselves with positive environments, people, and habits helps us maintain mental clarity and emotional balance. Practice radical acceptance. By accepting life as it is, we release the need for control and find peace in every moment, even during difficult times. These lessons from Buddhism offer a roadmap for creating mental freedom, reducing stress, and achieving emotional well-being. But it's important to remember that these practices are not a quick fix. They are ongoing efforts that require patience and consistency. As you incorporate them into your daily life, you'll gradually notice a shift in how you approach challenges, how you manage your thoughts, and how you navigate emotions. The key takeaway here is that mental freedom is available to all of us. Through conscious practice, we can break free from the chains of negativity and stress, unlocking a life filled with clarity, peace, and purpose. So, take a deep breath, embrace these lessons, and begin your journey toward a peaceful, empowered mind today. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Buddhist wisdom and its transformative impact on our mental and emotional well-being. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on personal growth, mindfulness, and inner peace.